What's going on, everyone? Before we rip into this cracking yarn with Tom from Retro Rugba League, I just wanted to jump on and give my debut comedy show another plug. Epiphany is happening at Good Chat Comedy Club October 7th, and I would love nothing more than to pack this place out with some absolute legends, just ready to have a laugh and listen to the nonsense that my life is. So tickets are available on the Good Chat Comedy Club website. Just follow the ticket links. And regular listeners of the show know that it is my dream, if you will, to one day sell out Suncorp Stadium. And I suppose it's only fitting that my debut show is happening about 100 metres up the road on Caxton Street. So grab some tickets on the website. I hope to see you all there. But let's rip into the episode that we're all here for. I had a blast recording this with Tom up on the sunny coast. And yeah, it was good to break down what exactly he does and have a laugh along the way. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you later.
Oh, it's the Can't Get Any Worse podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
You see, Mark Burris actually got the guy who is the road guy on his podcast the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's an Aussie guy.
Yeah. So, fun fact, Rode is actually the number one selling mic in the world.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, I forget the exact statistic. I think they sell like 90 mics a day or something.
Wow.
Which is pretty insane.
I think Shure are touted as like the best.
Yeah.
But these ones are just everywhere.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Because it is the price range, the quality for price range is like...
It's 100%. Every podcast has got these. And like when I first started the podcast, I got like an audio engineer, mate. And he's like, he didn't know how serious I was about the whole thing. So he's like, just get these little, like, you know, the handheld like sports reporters ones where they, he's like, just get a couple of them and you'll be fine. And I'm like, I don't really want to get guests around and like be like, hey, like it'd just be weird, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I reckon we kick the pot off with all that little banter. Sure, what do you reckon? So welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. I hope we're all well. We have another guest lined up today. We've got Retro Rugba League. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, Jimmy.
Good to be here. Good. It took me a while to track down your real name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you go by your real name often, or you're?
Oh yeah, I do.
You're like an enigma.
But how would you pronounce it?
Actually,
yeah,
isn't your real name Tom?
It is, but I usually spell it Thom.
Do you really?
Yeah, and so a lot of people, for a while, when I started a new job, for a while, one of the people was calling me Thom.
Really?
Ages. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. How is Thomas spelled? Is
Thomas? So the H is actually there. It's not a silent letter. It's a rough breathing sound. So if you put your hand in front of your mouth and say the word Tom, you'll feel the air hit your hand.
Yeah, right.
So that means there's a rough breathing. So that is the H.
Okay.
So the H is there physically.
Yeah, right.
So
well, there you go. What other letters do? Well, that spun me out straight off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I only know about rough breathings from when I did a Bachelor of Theology. I had to study Greek, like ancient Greek.
Yep.
And so rough breathings and smooth breathings is part of the language there. So that's the only reason I know about rough breathings.
Wow.
Didn't expect that in the podcast, did you?
I didn't expect that either. I thought we were going to go straight into a bit of sports chat, but now we're learning about, what did you say it was? Greek?
Koine Greek, to be specific.
Koine Greek.
Koine is Koine. So it's not spoken anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I did not know we were going to be sitting down with an intellectual today. I'm the least intellectual person you'll ever meet, so I'm glad I learned something today.
There you go.
But I guess for the listeners, who are you? What are you about? Give us your origin story, if you will.
Yeah, sure. So Retro Rugba League is my accounts on Instagram, TikTok. Started to put a little bit of stuff on YouTube, just shorts recently, and Facebook. So I started back in 2022. I was working, just doing a bit of like building, labouring, kind of bit of farming stuff and whatever. And as a side thing, I saw a guy on Instagram called Jersey Lord.
Okay.
And I had all these jerseys in my cupboard, and I thought I'd free up a bit of cash. I wasn't wearing them that much. I thought I'll sell them to him. Mm-hmm. But then I saw his account, and I was like, okay, see what he's doing. I reckon I could do something similar. I'm not saying do it better, but I could do something similar. But there's a few people like him, but not many.
Right.
He was the main guy. And I heard about him through Hello Sport, actually.
Yeah.
One of the boys bought a Winfield Cup hat off him or something.
Okay.
But he was just doing photos. And I thought, what if I did video? So what if I made like a video of, say, like, here's some little snippets of Alfie Langer from 1998. And at the end, here's a 98 Broncos jersey. If you want to buy it, you can go to my Instagram page or whatever. So I kicked all that off, and I had like I think a couple of jerseys a week or something like that, and had some cool ones. 98 Broncos, had a 98 Panthers, what they call the zebra roadkill jersey.
Okay.
We had some Roosters stuff, some New South Wales stuff, Australia, whatever. And from October, it was about when I started in 2022, till February, I think I sold one jersey.
Yeah, right.
So I thought, this is a miserable failure. I was pumping out videos every day, staying up till midnight making out videos, and it's like, this is awful.
Yep.
So I was about to give up, and we just moved from, I was living in Dalby, which is about 3 hours west of here, it's like where Andrew McCulloch and Carl Webb and those kind of footy guys are from, to here to the sunny coast. Started a different job, and I put all my stuff up on Facebook Marketplace. So I was like, I just give up. And as the season started to draw closer, one by one, things started to sell. And I realised, like, it wasn't I was doing a particularly bad job. It was just the off-season of rugby league. People are watching cricket or whatever. When the season gets closer, people get excited. They want to go to games. They want to wear stuff. And they cottoned on from there. But even that season, I just kind of would post up, you know, a video every now and then, but then a photo. And that was more the jersey-focused stuff. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until 2024... the Warriors put out their heritage jersey, that white heritage jersey.
I think I know the one.
So it's almost all white one with that. It's similar to the one on the ground here, but it's predominantly white instead of blue.
Yep.
And they just marketed it really well.
Yeah, okay.
And I made like this little 15-second video saying, the Warriors just put out this jersey and this is why it's great. Mm-hmm. And for me, that kind of blew up a bit. Like, I'd normally get 800, 1,000 views, and that one got 20,000.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay. And then the next day, I think, I made a video. The Raiders put out an alternate jersey with their new logo, which everyone hates, and they doubled down on it and just blew it up and put it across the chest.
Yeah.
And I made it like another 20-second video saying, this sucks. Mm-hmm. And Josh Papali actually commented underneath saying, I agree. He didn't like it either. And that kind of blew up for me as well. And I was like, okay, so there's something here for people to talk about current jersey designs, but also old stuff.
Yep.
To showcase old stuff, to tell the stories of how things come about, the club games they'll play, or anything that's just kind of wrapped in around connecting the nostalgic events that we remember as rugby league fans with the physical items we hold in our hands as jerseys, be it past or present.
Yeah, okay.
And that's where it all kind of
cool.
went from there. And then I just made a commitment to like being consistent at the start of 2024 must have been. I was like, right, I'm just going to do this every day.
Yep.
For like a month, and then I just never stopped since.
Yeah, right. So you do, like, every time I open my Instagram, there's a video from you. So
I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I know. You're hitting your mark. So so you do a video every day, do you?
Pretty much. If I don't do a video, I post something. I post something every day. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so sometimes that's made easier by the fact like people collab on posts with you. So we did the whole Jersey Judgment Day thing recently, which by the time this airs will have just finished. Mm-hmm. But like, heaps of people got on board with me for that, which means I had to do less because I just jumped on all their posts.
It's always good.
But yeah, like I just set out knowing what it would take to just kind of bombard the space.
Yep.
If I can't be there in quality, I can be there in quantity. So
exactly.
I'm just gonna bombard it.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, hey, because I've noticed it in particular with comedy is the amount of times there'll be someone new on the scene and their first like 10 sets they crush, and I'm like, I wasn't talented off the bat, but I just keep going and stuff, and those people just seem to fizzle out of the scene, but I'm still there at the end. So I'm the same deal. Like, as long as I keep consistent, I've started getting better gigs and things like that. So
I've sat down and had a couple of calls with people who wanted to do a similar thing to me, and they wanted to buy and sell jerseys and use content and whatever to do it.
Yep.
And they had the idea of like, should I do this giveaway? Should I do that? Should I send this stuff to Rugby League Guru or whatever? And I was like, you're throwing your money away because you haven't got something for people to land on once they've actually found you.
Yep.
So go and build a content base of 3 to 6 months worth of stuff. Then go and do those sugar hit things because people will then follow you and actually go, this guy's worth following because he's got stuff. If you start trying to chase the end goal from the beginning, it just goes nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. No, definitely. So I guess back to the beginning, how did you have you always just been a jersey collector? How did you have such a big collection before you even started all this, I suppose?
Well, I mean, my collection wasn't that big. I suppose it might have been like 20 jerseys max.
That's pretty big.
Well, you think that, but there's some guys. I mean, we're in Bullcock Street Bazaar in Caloundra, and we are surrounded by vintage stuff and whatever. There's at least one guy I know, Rick's Jersey Bonanza. You can follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
His jersey collection would fill this whole place.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, big time.
That's crazy. All rugby league jerseys?
Mostly, but he's got a bit of NBA and NFL stuff and maybe baseball and whatever. There's a few guys out there have huge collections.
That's
Another guy you should follow, Rye Wiper, I think his name, or Wepner. If you try and follow his account, you'll find him.
Yep.
He's a big Cowboys collector. He has some elite Cowboy stuff to the extent that when the Cowboys make new jerseys or advertise ones that have a historical link, they'll borrow his jerseys to do it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that one they made last year that was the Carl Webb commemorative one, they borrowed his jerseys both to replicate it and to show it off.
Yeah, right. Well, there you
So
go.
I am nothing compared to those guys. I love rugby league since I was a kid, and I was probably enamored with what I would call like the mythology of rugby league. So not just like the gameplay, but the mascots and the locations and the stories and, the cockroaches and cane toads and the colours, and that came through in the designs and whatever as well. There used to be a shop like down the road from our house in Dalby called Golders, and that's like they had all the rugby league jerseys in town. And they would have them like in the window. And I remember thinking, like as a kid, if there was ever like an apocalypse or a looting scenario, I'm going to run down there and steal all those jerseys, even from the teams that I didn't follow. I just thought it was cool. And every Christmas or whatever, you'd go down to Rebel and see what's new in the rack. And so I've just loved that ever since. And I think even if all this failed and all wrapped up, I would still be like waiting in there November for when clubs are going to put out new stuff.
For sure. Well, that's good. That's when you know that you love it, even though if this didn't eventuate to something, then you'd still be doing it regardless.
I was doing it before and I'll still do it after.
Yeah. But I remember when I was a kid as well, I don't even know how mum and dad stumbled across all these, but my pajama tops always used to be old school, like 3/4 sleeve jerseys. And I still kick myself. I'm like, I wish I had them, even though they're kid sizes. They were just so cool, like the old Bulldogs and Tigers and all that. So
I remember seeing in a like a Lifeline or whatever it was in Dolby, an old Powers Broncos jersey on the rack and going, yuck, who would want this? Now they're worth like, $200, $300.
Yeah.
So should have, I wouldn't have kept it, but definitely. There's a lot of sour people out there too who are like, remember paying those $2 prices and are really appalled at the fact that those are now worth $200, $300, $400.
Yeah. But how much is a jersey these days at Rebel?
Oh, like a brand new one, between $160 and $180.
That's wild, hey?
Yeah. But to be fair, like it is a chunk of money, right? But when you think about inflation, like those jersey prices have kind of sat around that 150, 160 mark, probably for like the last 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So while, you've seen bread go from like, $1 to $3 and milk go from $1 to $8 or whatever, they've kind of stayed the same.
Yep.
There's a few clubs that just whack a little bit extra on top, and you can probably figure out who they are. But yeah, I think like we're not doing that bad.
Yeah.
And also like the buying habits, it's just going.
Yeah.
And like the Broncos this year just kept dropping banger jersey after banger jersey, and the fans just kept selling it out.
That black one was so good. I love that.
Well, that captain's run, that one they had that was modelled after the 2001 jersey. So it's kind of like maroon with the electric blue stripe.
Yes,
I hate the Broncos, and I thought that was cool.
You hate the Broncos?
Well, just in a pure like club. Like, I mean, I'm a Rooster, big time Rooster.
Are you?
So,
okay.
Them and like South are my mortal on-field enemies.
Yep.
But merch-wise, they've probably been at the top of the tree this year.
The Broncos?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, always been a Roosters fan?
I was actually a Melbourne Storm fan when I was a kid.
Okay.
So the first grand final I ever remember watching was 99.
Okay.
Which they won. But then after that, like a lot of my favourite players left. Brett Camorley and all these guys just went. I was kind of on the hunt for a new team. I used to kind of follow the Sharks and the Roosters at the same time.
Yep.
And they had a lot of players playing for New South Wales, who I go for the Blues. So
good to hear.
I picked the Roosters when they made the 2000 grand final.
Okay.
And I just stuck with them ever since.
Yeah, right. Because I was a Sharkies fan at the start as well.
Yeah.
And then when we moved up from Brisbane, up to Brisbane, so I'm from Gundawindi. So I know Dolby.
Yeah.
When we moved up here, Dad took me to a Broncos Sharks game. And the Sharks were just getting pounded into the ground. I don't remember what year.
Yeah.
I can see you going, what year?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So at halftime, I go, Dad, can you take me to the merch stand? And jumped on the bandwagon for the Broncos from then.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And then, like I said, jumped again to the Titans when they came in, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's well, look, when they win, you can say you're a day one.
100%.
might
I'm
be
in
here
for the
till
long haul
2052.
because I almost did make the jump again when the Dolphins came. I was like,
Yeah.
should I do it? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to ride or die with the Titans now. So
And I like the Dolphins. The Dolphins are probably my second team. Like, they're just a fun team. They're kind of supposed to be here on the Sunny Coast. They were here the first year. They haven't really turned up since.
Yep.
It's a bit of a shame. But all the kids love the Dolphins. They've got a fun team to get behind. So
yeah, my son is obsessed with them. Like you go to his school, everyone's got a Dolphins footy, like passing it and stuff, and it seems to be the team of that generation because it's so fun and all that.
Yeah.
So
they did a good job, marketing it at the kids.
Yeah, the whole fins up thing. You go to a game, you get a free fin. It's pretty good the way they've
You know
done
what they
it.
did with that? Remember they had that fins up song, and they went harder at the first year. The next year they changed it to a modified version of the Black Keys "Lonely Boy" to like "I'm a Dolphins boy" or something like that. Yeah, and then this year they've just dropped it almost completely, and except for when they win at the end.
Okay.
They use that. Is it "Freed from Desire" or something? It's like the song every time they score a try. That's the one they play.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
Pluck that out of nowhere. I don't know how that came about.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know. I thought the fins up thing was good. And
I liked it. Yeah. I went to my first Dolphins game 2 weeks ago.
Against the Titans?
Yes.
I was there, yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I went to that one, and then I went to Titans versus Tigers the following week because I got another mate in the podcasting world. Shout out to Matty from Mayraki Podcast. He's trying to get Felice Kafusi on his podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got the haircut and all that. And
I saw him and he had that sign.
yeah,
I
so
saw this clip.
I was his cameraman that day. So
I saw that just yesterday, actually.
Did ya?
And he gave the sign to Izzy Katoa.
yes, yeah. So I was trying to follow him through the crowd with the camera. So
what happened? Was there
still nothing yet.
Oh.
That was I think he's up to day like 48 or something of trying to get Felice on the podcast. So we're hoping now the Dolphins are out of final contention that Felice is in touch. So
Yes, make it happen.
we will see. What, got any Dolphins jerseys?
Not here. I
No?
do have a Redcliffe Dolphins jersey at home from 2013,
Okay.
I think, which is, I think, the year that, remember Petro finished up playing Rugby League, NRL, and he went back to Redcliffe and played for a year. I think it's either 13 or 14 was that season, and I think it's that same jersey. I've got a few Dolphins player issue ones. One of them signed by Wayne Bennett.
Okay.
And the other one just has like the grip tabs on it and the 23 on the back.
Yep.
Obviously, it came in the comp in 23. The first year the Dolphins came in the comp, like just Redcliffe stuff. So not Dolphins, NRL Dolphins, Redcliffe. They just like skyrocketed because everyone wanted to look like a day one fam.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'd find like shirts in Vinnie's that would have been $2 yesterday and they're on eBay for like $200 the next day.
Crazy.
But that all died within a year.
Yeah. No, fully. Do you have your own collection that's sort of like, I'm not selling this regardless?
Yeah, I have a few, but not many. Hey, like I've probably only got maybe like 10 or so jerseys.
Yeah.
And I like in my office, and almost all of them are for sale. There'd be close to probably 200. Only like 10 belong to me. So a couple of them are here. So there's that Roosters 98 reserve grade one here.
Yep.
That's like my prized Roosters one.
Yeah.
And then that Gold Coast Chargers one behind your head.
Yep.
It's a 98 Chargers. They're very sought after.
Yeah, I love
Collectors
that jersey.
those. I actually got a Chargers jacket, like a spray jacket. Scott Sattler gave it to me.
Yeah.
He sent it to me, which is nice. I've got a few other Roosters jerseys and what is it? It's that country in the Pacific Island. I think it's called Niue. Niue, how you pronounce it. It's a yellow and blue jersey, predominantly yellow. It's like from like this Fiji competition.
Okay.
It's like really obscure.
Yeah.
But I like that. I've got that in my little personal one. And I actually do have a Dolphins, like one of the Dirty Bird jerseys, not like the KFC head on it.
Yep.
Just a reproduction one, not an original.
Yeah.
And a few other bits and pieces. But yeah, my personal collection is very small. So people, if I do Instagram Live or whatever, have them all in the background, they say, oh, you've got all these. I said, no, they could be yours. Just go to retrorugbyleague.com.
There we go.
And you
There's
can
the
buy
plug,
them.
yeah.
So, that's my story.
Yeah, nice. So what's your all-time favourite jersey? Do you have one?
I do, but I don't own it. I
Yeah.
almost got the chance to own it a year or so ago, and it got sold too quick.
Oh, no.
And my wife's probably happy because I think it sold for like $1,200 or
Really?
something like that. So it's a 1998 Gold Coast Vikings jersey.
Okay.
So Vikings were like the reserve grader underneath the Chargers. So same colour scheme, so the teal and the purple and the gold. but it's like what you call an emu's jersey. So it's the jersey like the Kangaroos would go on tour with and wear midweek. So it's like chevrons across the chest, but then like horizontal bars across the belly and on the sleeves. And the logo is like a Viking with a sword.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. It's just super funky. Home Hardware is a sponsor on the chest.
Yep.
Just like very 90s rugby league hypercolor out there.
Yep.
As you can tell, I like colorful stuff. So, yeah, that's one of my favorites. And then like any of the Roosters Sydney City away stuff is also pretty top tier for me. Yeah.
But the Viking one, that's your holy grail?
Yeah, it's just so different. It's so cool. It's so out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nice. And has it always just been jerseys, or you're into hats and boots and everything?
No, not so much boots. I mean, I don't really collect hats. I do have a couple of hats, but and even like buying and selling them, maybe it's just outside of my niche a little bit. I don't know. And I find it hard to value stuff like that. And people say to me like, "Oh, do you think you'll start doing AFL stuff or NFL stuff?" I just don't know the value.
Yeah.
So I look at an AFL jersey and go, well, "That's old. Maybe it's worth something." And then someone else might go, "Oh, it's worth nothing."
Yeah.
So there's like the AFL equivalent of me is Andy Munro. You know Munro jumpers? You might have seen him
so, maybe.
more on TikTok.
Yeah.
He also does like all the old footy ground reviews. So he drives these like it's just like a paddock in South Australia, and it used to be the Northampton roundabouts back in 1908 played there or what, and he knows all that stuff.
Really?
That's like his thing.
True.
And he's got a huge collection and whatever as well. But he would know the value in that. And he'd look at a rugby league jersey and go, "Oh, that's really ugly." He'd be like, "Oh, that's the one you really want." So it's just out of my wheelhouse. But no, just jerseys. I don't do boots. I've got footy cards, but mainly with those, I just get them. And then when people buy stuff, I try and match the card with the jersey they bought and pack it in the post and give it to them as well.
Yeah, I saw you did was it a Darren Lockyer one this week, maybe?
I had a Cooper Cronk one.
Oh, yes, that was it. The white Melbourne one.
Yeah, so
yes,
07 Storm away. It was all white jersey with one kind of cartoon lightning bolt, and they had the Cooper Cronk card. So paired them together and send it away.
That's a cool little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you do that. And then, like you said, I like the story that you tell behind the jersey and things like that. I suppose if you did dabble in another sport, maybe that interest wouldn't really be there if you had to go, the Brisbane Lions or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't know the history. I don't know, and I don't understand, like, say, the Fitzroy component of the Brisbane Lions. Okay. I don't understand that history. Yeah, I just don't know it.
I don't follow AFL at all. I never have. So
so I just don't know that stuff. But I know the intricate details of how, like old Manly people and old Parramatta people relate or don't relate to each other, and all that old kind of stuff that you just get from being engrossed with rugby league. I just don't have that knowledge about the sports.
Are you excited for the Perth team?
I am.
What are your thoughts on that?
I just hope that they find a way. Like it's obviously very North Sydney driven.
Yep.
So the story goes that the logo, the new Bears logo, which hasn't come out yet but can't be too far away, will have NS 1908 on it, so North Sydney 1908. So they're really like doubling down on this is a transplant of North Sydney. This is the foundation club reborn. They're trying to pitch it as like South Sydney coming back into the comp, basically.
Okay, right.
Which is nice for Bears fans. I just wonder if I was a Perth fan and this transplant rocked up on my door, am I going to embrace it?
Yeah.
So what are they going to do to win over the local fan? I had this discussion with the Messenger, so you should follow him on Instagram as well.
There we go.
And he was a little bit like, well, I think they should just be grateful that they've got something and love it. Now, that may be true because they're probably not going to get it any other way.
Yep.
By the same token, kids don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you make kids care? And how do you get fans now who are 10, 12, 13, 14 to make lifelong fans forever? Because if you're just focusing on 30, 40-year-olds, you're only having like a 10-year window of success. You need to focus on kids to get sustained fans.
Yeah.
So, how do you make the Perth Bear something that kids would walk away from? Actually, not even walk away from, but just entertain that alongside watching the Freo Dockers or West Coast Eagles. The fact that West Coast suck probably doesn't hurt too much. But that's the challenge they've got to conquer.
Yeah, right. Well, I suppose they do have a recent business model to follow with the Dolphins. I mean, like I said, my son's school, they're all obsessed with the Dolphins. So I guess that's the thing. Hey, you've just got to make it fun for that younger generation. And
I think that the difference there is that like rugby league in Queensland was screaming out for more attention.
yeah, okay,
Where the media in WA is deliberately hostile against rugby league.
right.
So the
okay, I
day
didn't
that they
know
were announced, the headlines basically read like a funeral headline. Like,
Really?
isn't this a horrible thing that rugby league is coming and invading our territory?
Okay, right.
Very anti, which is partly why the appointment of Mal Meninga as head coach makes sense.
Yep.
It's more a marketing play than it is a coaching play.
Okay,
Because here's this guy that even if you know nothing about rugby league, you've probably heard of Mal Meninga. And he's just this kind of big, intimidating presence that if you're in a press conference and some, narky WA AFL journo pipes up, you're just not going to cop it.
Yep.
It's a similar story like when Kevin Sheedy from Essendon went to the GWS Giants. Like it was just all about selling authenticity, and this is something you should pay attention to.
yeah, okay.
So that makes sense. I just hope it has sustained success.
Yeah, because again, I'm not big on the history or anything like that. What happened to it was Perth Reds, was it?
Yeah, so they started basically just before the Super League war.
Okay.
So this is in that like 95 to 98 period of rugby league was like really intense.
Yep.
So like kind of 94, 95, there's these rumblings that there might be this breakaway competition headed up by a guy called John Rebo, who was the CEO or whatever his position was at the Brisbane Broncos. And they wanted to start this more global looking franchise where they included more states and went bigger internationally. Kerry Packer caught wind of that and ramped up the New South Wales Rugby League and transformed it into the ARL and brought in a bunch of new teams. So that included the Warriors, it included South Queensland Crushers, Perth or the Western Reds, Adelaide. Adelaide Rams came with the Super League. Anyway, there's a few others as well.
I fully forgot about all those teams until you just rattled them off.
Yeah. And all their jerseys highly sought after as
Yeah,
well. More Gold Coast teams and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Chargers, was it? No,
Crushers?
not Crushers. Yeah,
Crushers,
Crushers jersey. That was cool. That's like the gold one. Hey, gold
Yeah,
and
yeah.
navy.
Aztec Gold apparently is the colour scheme.
Okay.
So they all happened, and then Super League happened, and then the competition broke in two, and then there was more teams added. So there was like Western Reds went over with Super League. But there was the Adelaide Rams. There was the Hunter Mariners, which is like a Newcastle split.
Right.
Because they couldn't get the Johns boys on board. They sided with the ARL, so they had a second team in Newcastle. Apparently there's families to this day who still don't like each other over the Hunter Mariners Newcastle split.
True.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a dirty word apparently in Newcastle.
Sorry to all my Newcastle listeners.
So all of that happened, and then at the end of basically Christmas '97, they like brokered a peace deal, and then came back together as the NRL in 1998. So that's when you first saw that badge that will be behind here, that green badge.
Oh, yep.
So actually, the reason that badge is so big, see, it's like a huge patch.
Yeah.
It was made that way to cover up Super League logos that were already printed on top of jerseys.
right.
So some people have these jerseys, you turn them inside out, and the Super League logo is still stitched underneath. From then on, they slendered down to more this style.
Yep.
But that first year, they were made with that big fat patch to cover it up.
Yeah.
And then from there, the teams condensed down, and then I think in 2000 is where they wielded the final axe. That's when South got kicked from the comp. The Bears, they merged with Manly and became the Northern Eagles for a bit. It was an absolute miserable failure. St George merged with Steelers, and West Tigers merged with Balmain and Western Suburbs Magpies.
Yep. Okay.
Merged together as well.
Yeah, true.
So there's a snapshot history of
there's
rugby league from 95 to
There's a bit of history.
2000.
You're very educated about rugby league. Do you?
Well, a few people will be screaming down the barrel saying, that's not the way it happened.
There always is. There always is. You can't please everyone. But do you prefer, like, I appeal more to the old school, like cotton, thick jerseys like that. And I don't know if that's because that's what I got brought up with maybe. Do you prefer them over these, like the new slicker ones, or it doesn't phase you? They've each got their place?
I think look, the thing is, and here's a bit of an exclusive for you. So I've actually got a jersey coming out myself next year.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I've opted not to go for cotton. Yeah, and that's mainly because in Queensland, cotton's just so hot.
It is. It's
in
thick.
summer. Like, it sounds like this great nostalgic idea, and then you wear it and you realise why we went away from it.
Yep.
It's just so hot.
Definitely.
So it's a cool look. It's great for when you're in Sydney and it's getting cooler, or it's winter months or whatever. Then you really like it. But like I try and wear that jersey to games. I wore it Seagulls, was it 94 Seagulls to Magic Round. I was just sweating my ring out. It was so hot. So I can see why we left it in the past.
Yeah.
But I don't really, I like old stuff and I like new stuff. I like the 2000 stuff. I like there's some teams now who are really breaking new ground. The Broncos and the Warriors have done a little bit of that this year. I appreciate that too. I think a time will come soon. We'll kind of leave a bit of retro stuff in the past and we'll like surge into this new era of really exciting stuff. Cowboys did that glow in the dark jersey recently.
Yes, yep.
We're heading in that direction a little bit. There'll always be a touch of this. But vintage stuff is really at its peak right now.
Yeah, I think as I asked you that question, I realised why I prefer those ones over them. And I think it's from my playing days because I've always been a bit of a chubby boy.
Oh, they flow.
Yeah, when we had to suck into those, it made me feel a bit self-conscious.
Yeah, that's right. They reveal things. This one, I wore probably one about this size. This is actually Selwyn Cobbo's match spare from 2023. I think. But I had Nathan Pete's like training jersey or something. I wore it to a Gold Coast Titans game with like a sign on my back, like saying you could buy this shirt. No one bought it, which is a shame because it was a player issue medium, so it was like wearing a corset. It was skin tight. Still got it if anyone wants to buy.
Yeah, because I was actually surprised. I didn't realize like the players gave away their jerseys after games and things like that.
Well, so this interesting thing in this venue, almost a year to the day. Chris and myself from Day.Sports, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram.
Possibly, yeah.
We did a podcast, and he was saying that if the players give away jerseys, they actually get like, or if the players take their jerseys, they get charged from the club,
right.
Which kind of makes sense because the club just does have to buy them. However, I feel like if Reece Walsh gives his jersey to a kid behind the stands, the club would be silly to charge him for it.
Yeah.
Because like you can't buy that kind of marketing.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how all that works. But there is like, the clubs do really have to buy a certain amount of jerseys, and once they're gone, they're gone.
No, that's fair enough.
And that was one of the big issues with the start of the year. The big debate was about should players have their names on the back of jerseys. And the GM of the Cowboys, Michael Luck, he was like, this might cost up to $400,000 a year in just player jerseys. So it does cost something.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, don't want to give Matty too many shout-outs in this podcast. He'll get a big head. But
no, do it.
Yeah. His podcast studio, the walls are lined in player-worn jerseys that he's got after games and stuff like that. And when we took my son last week, he got his free tickets from the Titans. And Jaden Campbell came up to say hey to Matty and stuff. And Matty's like, oh, I'll try to get his jersey for Westy, who's my son. And I was like, that's crazy. Sure, go nuts. But we didn't get it. My son got over it. And I go, I got to take my son home. 10 minutes later, Matty sends me a video with a player's jersey he got. And I was like, should have stuck around. But yeah, as a 8-year-old my son is, that would have like been the epitome of his first footy. Oh, no, he's been to a footy game before, actually. Scratch that. But did you used to play footy?
Yeah, but not very well. Okay. Like, I wasn't allowed to play like club footy.
Okay.
Because mum and dad said it was too dangerous, even though we were allowed to ride motorbikes and stuff because that was really safe. And my dad was breaking arms and legs and eye sockets every other day. So, yeah, I played a little bit at school. I had like a little school thing that we played. And then also we played a lot of touch footy and stuff. And then when I moved, I played about half a season here for Caloundra Sharks.
Okay.
And then we moved up to Central Queensland. I played a season and a half for Billawheeler Panthers.
Right, there you go.
So I would say that's my club, Billawheeler Panthers.
Yeah, that's your career.
I did captain them for reserve grade for one game. We probably got pumped by 50. We just seemed to do that every other week.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of me done.
That's your career in a
nutshell. I played in the in that Sports Shed TV charity match at the start of the year too.
Oh yeah. Cool. How'd you go in that?
All right. I thought I was fit going in, and then the warm up happened. I was like, man, I'm ruined from the warm up.
What position you play in that?
Front right. Well, because it's just like it's worse than reserve grade.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like just chase. Yeah. I just made a commitment. If I'm out here, I'm just like chasing. So if the ball moves, I'm just going to follow it because I just know what it's like when everyone's tired. No one wants to put in effort. Someone's got to be there.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to chase it everywhere it goes.
Yeah.
So I only had one run, but if you watch the game, it's just me just like running everywhere trying to keep up with what's going on.
I'm going to have to try to find a replay of that.
It's not worth watching. Don't bother. Don't bother.
Oh, gosh.
We lost, unfortunately.
Did you?
Yeah.
Next year, mate. Next year.
Yeah. Hopefully get the invite.
Who's your favourite player of all time?
Oh.
Tough one. Or who? Maybe put it this way: who's your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, well, I've actually got I've got a tattoo of Freddie Fittler on the back of my calf actually, and it's signed by him.
Yeah,
so I met him in person and he signed it. So yeah, Freddie's one of my all-time greats. In terms of the current crop of guys, I actually like a lot of players who aren't Roosters. So even though he's a bit of dirty sometimes, I think Cam Munster's great. Love Tommy Turbo when he was at the peak of his powers. Jake Trbojevic is another one I love.
Yep.
The Roosters, of course, Teddy, Victor Radley, and there's guy who plays centre for the Roosters, Billy Smith. He's not a huge name, but geez, he just works hard for them. Right. I really like him. But yeah, I don't know. In terms of all-time greats, I think it'd be like, Freddie, Joey.
Yep.
And then if we're talking about who's the best of all time, I think it's, even as a Blue, I think it's Cam Smith.
Yeah?
Yep.
It's hard to go past him, isn't it? And that, I'm Blues as well. But just some of those Queensland players, like, I was obsessed with them for a while there, like Cam Smith, Jonathan Thurston, like,
GI, Cooper Cronk, Darren Lockyer, like that is so stacked.
Yeah.
But I think out of all of those guys, like Cam Smith could just control a game and just almost mind read what was going on better than anyone else.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
And like with the body that didn't seem to suit rugby league either.
Yeah, definitely. He looked like an accountant or something. Yeah,
but he's just apparently he's so strong.
Yeah, okay.
You're trying to grab a hold and thinking he's little and he just be rock solid.
So you mentioned you're from Dalby.
Yep. Born
and raised?
No. So we moved there in about 97. I was born in Box Hill in Victoria, actually.
Okay.
And we went to Melbourne for a holiday this year. It's the first time being back there for 35 years.
Right.
And we moved all over the place. We lived in New South Wales, around Gundagai, so on the dog on tucker box kind of thing, and up in the Northern Territory, and back in Victoria, and Wee War, and then Dalby, and then all over the place. But Dalby's where I spent most of my childhood.
Yeah, okay. The reason I asked, I was hoping to bring you down with me because I'm one of those people born in Queensland but go for New South Wales.
Oh, okay.
So.
No.
I'm nothing like you.
I mean, I was born in Victoria, but then I was New South Wales next.
Yeah, so, no, that's fair then. That's fair. But, I always went for the Blues because all my favourite players went for the Blues, like Freddie, Andrew Johns. I was a big, when I did start going for the Broncos, I was a big Michael DeVere fan.
Yep.
He played for the Blues, and I was like, well, if he can play for the Broncos and the Blues, I can go for both as well.
Payne Haas is now that guy too.
Yeah, exactly. So I every Origin season I've got to put up with it, but here's what it is. We'll have our run eventually.
Yeah, you're the reverse GI, so you just throw that back at them.
And I always say to people, I'm like, I don't know why it upsets you so much. Like I had to go through that 8 years of just torture. Like I could have jumped the bandwagon then, but like the Titans, I've stayed true.
Yeah,
it'll be our time eventually. But let's talk more about what you got going on. You've got your own merch line happening. Is that what we've got going on here?
Yeah, so some of it, So I've done some caps before, but we have a subscriber thing called Retro Club. So obviously I buy and sell retro or vintage jerseys, and I had this kind of issue where like people would message me all the time saying, hey, have you got this? Have you got that? Which is great. But like at one point, I think I was getting like 6,000 messages a month.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I just cannot find this many jerseys. I don't have them. What can I do to solve this problem? And so I created this subscriber service. So for less than a coffee a month, people can join Retro Club. Mm-hmm. And the primary thing is that when I get new jerseys in, members get to see that first before anyone else.
Okay.
But we also have some spin-off stuff as well. We've got these chat groups that like when the footy's on, they're just lighting up, everyone's bantering, and we've got this exclusive merch. So we've got some surf caps and some running caps. We've got these pink jackets and also some black jackets. Mm-hmm. We have like some members only giveaways. Often like when I get sent stuff by clubs and whatever, I'll just like hoard it all and then do a big giveaway for members. So we had one recently. We gave away like over $2,000 worth of stuff, just jerseys and frames and hats and scarves and all that kind of stuff. And then oftentimes in those subscriber things, like people have spare tickets for a game they can't go to and they just give it out to other members. So it's a really cool place to be.
Cool little community you got.
Yeah, and I mean, like I thought about the other day, if you saw 15 cents on the ground, you'd probably walk past it, right? Well, that's what it costs a day to be part of Retro Club. So
jump on board, guys. Jump on board.
At this stage, it's only on Instagram, using the subscriber thing, but looking to branch out into Patreon as well.
Yes,
to widen the net a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's what we got going on there. Like I said, there's some other stuff in the pipeline for next year, and what that will look like. It will be a little bit different.
Okay.
Jersey wise and whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. So was this modeled off anything, or literally just out of your brain onto the fabric?
So it's like my colours are pink and yellow for
Yep.
retro rugby league. And then we added the kind of blue to this as well. The design on the front of the caps and this kind of RC logo here, which Retro Club, was done by a guy called Joey Mussey. So you should follow him on Instagram. His name's Studio 11X.
Yep.
So he actually designed this year's multicultural jersey for the Melbourne Storm, and he did the cover of the Rugby League game.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's done some awesome stuff. He did both the Australia and the England version
Okay.
of that game.
Yep.
So yeah, awesome dude. And from the beginning, I just saw some of his stuff and I was like, this is sick. And I just started like plugging it. Mm-hmm. So he hit me back with a favor and he designed these logos for me. And we just went hard into the kind of Miami Vice palm tree
That's
theme.
exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
And yeah, that's where that's kind of come about. But yeah, the only way to get this merch at the moment is to be a Retro Club member.
Jump on board, guys.
I mean, you can really become a member, buy it and bail if you want. Don't do that. But you could do that.
Don't give people ideas. But yeah, cool. That's awesome. It looks like cool merch and stuff like that. So you're making me jealous. But how, I guess back to the whole jersey thing, how do you track all these down? Just literally hours and hours on Facebook Marketplace? And
sometimes, yeah. I mean, like sometimes it's not about the where, it's about the when.
Okay.
So it's not, some people say, where do you find this stuff? And sometimes it really is the exact same place that you would look. It's just I'm looking really frequently.
For sure.
It's nicer, like as I've gotten a bit bigger, people will come to me and say, hey, I've got this stuff in my cupboard I don't want anymore. Do you want to buy it? And I'll be like, yeah. So if that's you, reach out.
Do you, if that does happen, do you stress about like how much they're going to ask and things like that? Or are people always pretty reasonable? Because obviously you'd have to make a bit of a profit on top of it.
Exactly, yeah. So I always say from the start, like when I'm buying stuff, like people will see me sell a jersey for 200 and they say, oh, well, I've got this one. Will you pay me 200? Well, obviously I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I'm trying to make a profit off it. So I think most people get that. Like they're like, oh, okay, obviously you've got to turn a bit of profit out of it. And I've got to also factor in, like sometimes I buy stuff, I'll buy a bundle off people and there'll be a few fake ones in there and I don't do fakes.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, well, I've lost money on that. Or there's something that's damaged and I think, okay, I might be able to repair it, but I might not. So I've got to run the risk on that. And even just like storage, right? Like you just get to a point where you start to run out of room and holding stuff is kind of meaning you're rejecting stuff. Yep. So all of that's got to factor in. But I also don't want to just utterly rip people off. So usually I'll say to people, what do you got? What size is it? And what are you looking to get? And then try and work out a fair thing after that. And I've got my kind of set margins and stuff beside me in the background about what makes a good buy or not buy for me. And sometimes I'll say to people, look, this is a cool jersey. It's not for me, but you should hold on to it. Or put it up on your Instagram, tag me, and I'll give it a share for you. Yep. Someone else might buy it. And, and then you might get the market price for it and everyone's happy. So that's generally the way. There's no super secret place, in the Ukraine or Czechoslovakia or whatever that's loaded up with it. If there is, I want to find it. It's funny where rugby league jerseys end up. You find things in the Ukraine and whatever. But, I haven't tapped into this El Dorado of jerseys if it exists. Yeah, right. I would like to.
You'll get there. Well, a couple things off that. How is it easy to tell a fake and a real?
It's becoming increasingly harder.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like that black Broncos jersey, right? Like, so everyone loved that jersey. I got so many messages saying, hey, I just bought this one. Is it real? And I must have to say, it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because they're just, like, within a week of a jersey being released, the fakes will be out on the shelves. Yeah. Or off eBay or Instagram or Facebook Marketplace and whatever. Sometimes they're like really bad and you can tell. Sometimes it's down to like the stitching on a tag like this.
Okay.
And that's the only way you can tell.
Yeah, right.
So almost all fakes, this little badge here down the bottom, it will just be heat pressed on.
Okay.
Where the authentics will almost always be stitched on. But there are some exceptions to that.
There you go.
Usually on authentics, the badges are embroidered.
Yep.
And on sometimes fakes, they're sublimated, but this is a player issue, so that's why it's sublimated there.
Gotcha.
But even then, like the fake companies are starting to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes the manufacturer's jumping a step ahead and making like silicon badges.
Okay.
So it's like a big cat and mouse game. Some of the jerseys, the newer jerseys, have like a this little, what they call a swing tag. So it's a little tag that sits inside the neck that the price tag or whatever sits off. So sometimes the fakes don't have those, but now they're starting to put them in.
Gotcha.
For ages, all the fakes used to have these tags that said Sports Direct or Sports First or Sport Performance or something like that. But then because that became an identifier, they've dropped that. They're making replica NRL tags. It is it's becoming very hard.
Have you ever been caught out bad by one?
Usually it's because I've bought like a bundle of stuff.
Okay.
And I say to people, like, there might be 40 jerseys in a thing, and there's any fakes in there? No. And then you sort through and you go, yes, there are. Yeah. And then you hit them up and you say, hey, there's a few fakes in there. Do you mind just toss me a few dollars back? Oh, no, I didn't know. And, you'll be fine. You're like, okay, sure. Very honourable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's very it's both tricky, but also every time you put a video out saying, here's how you spot fakes, you get a chorus of people in the comments saying, but it's all we can afford and no one cares anyway and whatever. And look, there is an argument there that they are much cheaper, but I'm not poo-pooing people for buying fakes. I'm more arming people with the information if they're being sold something that's authentic or being told it's authentic, that they can say, actually, it's not.
Yeah, okay, right. No, gotcha. And then the other thing I had in that, you said you repair things and things like that. Do you do that all yourself, or you outsource?
No, I do that.
That's cool.
So mainly it's like one of the other things I made early on the piece that got a lot of views was I removed signatures off jerseys.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know or are surprised to hear that oftentimes signatures on jerseys brings the value of one down.
Yeah, okay.
Because people look at it and they think, I want to wear that, and it's covered in signatures. It looks a bit ugly.
Yep.
So I'll leave them on. Like, so this Cowboys jersey here's got signatures on it from the squad from '96. But if someone bought that and said, I'd like them removed, then I would try and do it.
Yep, okay.
And just I've got videos and stuff, it's not a secret, just use the combination of graffiti remover and like nappy sand to basically dilute the ink and then suck it up into the nappy sand. So that's another thing I do, or just getting rid of like the yellow ink kind of staining around the necks or other bits and pieces. But yeah, I just do all that myself.
Yeah, cool. That's pretty clever. You just picked up sewing and stuff just out of
nowhere?
I
don't do the sewing part. My wife does do some of that. So I've had like some, like the hems have come loose or the collars, and she's done a good job of fixing all that kind of stuff up. So she's done that aspect. But yeah, I more deal with like the stains and the inks and stuff like that.
Right. Okay, well, there you go. Because I was like, this guy's an intellect and he can sew. He can do it all.
I can't do that.
No, but that's cool. And like, yeah, that's how you said people message you to offer you their jerseys and stuff. I think straight off the bat, I think people like your content and stuff. So it'd be cool for them internally as well to be like, you put it up and be like, oh, that's my jersey and things like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And I think people want to help you out. Like straight off the bat, just talking to you, you like seem like a great guy and stuff. I think you've given
him.
Yeah. You've given more plugs on this to all your mates and stuff than anyone. So yeah, it's cool that you've got a community that seems to back each other and things like that and pump each other up. So yeah, hats off to you. I think that's why people feel drawn to you and your content. So
thank you.
I know. Yeah. I don't give compliments very often.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
I just find like, this whole space, right? Like create a space or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, like, what are we really doing? Like, we're not in network television where we've got, Kerry Packers and whatever in the background telling us what to do. Mm-hmm. And so, like, if you see someone who's doing a good job, just like their stuff, just share their stuff. Like, does it really matter to you that much if you share something on your profile or whatever? But it matters to them because, like, hey, this is getting me a little bit of something. Yeah. So, and there's been some great guys out there for me who've like collabed with him and stuff, like Roasty for sure. It's like one of the best in the game, Dean Messiter.
Okay.
He's got like 200,000 followers or whatever now, and he's just a legend. He'll collab with you on stuff and whatever. Guru's done some cool stuff for me as well. Maddie the Water Boy gave me a shout out once on Bloke in the Bar podcast, and but it's just like people helping each other out at the end of the day.
You have to,
if you see like someone's got a charity fundraiser, just give it a plug, man. Yeah. Like it's cost you nothing, and someone else might donate $100 because of it. Yeah, so that's just my general go-to move. Is just why not.
Love to hear it, mate. Love to hear it. So, what else is coming up for you? Anything else? You got the jerseys next year. You said next year, didn't you?
Yeah. Sometime next year, yeah. When is this coming out?
Probably this Thursday.
Okay, cool. So Jersey Judgment Day would have wound up by then. So we did a thing where we did this big fan poll, and we got people to vote what their favourite 10 jerseys of the year were, and then that all got accumulated into data that we've been revealing in blocks of 10. Might have to drop another video soon.
Yeah.
So we're ranking them, just doing the top 50 jerseys of the year. So tomorrow, which is Sunday, will be the last 10 that will come out. And we'll see the 10 best jerseys of the year. So that's been cool, and we'll look to do that again next year. That's not just me. That's Chris Barry, who's behind RL Jerseys.
Okay.
He's also got a website, just rugbyleaguejerseys.wordpress. If you ever want to find a jersey and you think, what year is this from? You just go to that website or just Google, like, every Cowboys jersey ever, and it'll take you to that website, and he's got like photos of every jersey from every year, so you can date.
And he does that all himself?
Yep, it doesn't get paid for it or anything, just does it for the love of it. So yeah, he and I have been doing that. He does like all the graphics, and I do the videos and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
So we got 2,500 people voting in that this year, which was cool. We got a bunch of content creators behind it. They all did their like best 3. The year the Wiggles got behind it.
Did they?
I think it's Dylan Wright, who won Australian Idol a couple years ago. He got behind it. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, just next year hoping to maybe do a little bit more collaborative stuff, maybe with some NRL clubs.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, that's kind of where things are going, I suppose.
Yeah, cool.
Just giving it a shake. I've only like recently just gone full time into this space, probably about 7 weeks ago.
So you are full time?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Mainly just propped up by like buying and selling jerseys. So
Yeah.
please buy my jersey.
Yeah, because I used to ask people that, and then I don't know, like people, because I used to have co-hosts as well, and like I used to ask people, I'm like, oh, so is this your full-time? No, what did I say? I worded it weird. I was like, is this your real job or something like that? Yeah. And ever since then, I just copped it for it. So I'm just like, that question's gone. But no, that's awesome that you can support yourself off the back of
I'm
selling jerseys.
I'm having a shake. We're about to go into like the quiet time. So like October to February is kind of the quiet period. Although Vegas has brought that forward a little bit.
Have you been to Vegas yet?
No, I don't think I will.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if I got sponsored to go, I'd go. But it doesn't I'm not a big gambling person and whatever. So I don't know how much it would appeal to me. I'd probably rather, if I had the opportunity to go there or New Zealand, I'd probably rather go to New Zealand. To be like WA's home game, sold out home game. Or to the north of England and experience like some of the Super League games where like everyone's like singing in the stands and whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So yeah, I don't know if Vegas is the one. I don't do well on flights either. Like long flights, my knees just ache.
Yeah. I the Vegas thing appealed to me at the start with the whole what stadium do they do it in? Like
Legion?
That's it. And I was like, oh, this would be so cool just seeing this packed with rugby league fans. And then I turned the TV on and it was like the stadium wasn't full. And it didn't really, I don't know, it lost a bit of magic for me then.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Like, so, but even, like I said, I went to Kieran Foran's last game last week. I thought that place would be jam-packed for him. Like, and again, like, I haven't been as invested in rugby league the last couple of years as I have been just with the whole being flat chat 24/7 with comedy and podcasting and stuff. And back in my day, Kieran Foran was like, he was a legend, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this place is going to be packed. But yeah, I think there was like 16,000 there. I was like,
that's disappointing.
Yeah, but
what does that stadium hold?
No idea.
25 or something?
Maybe,
It's
yeah.
not huge.
Yeah. Oh, well. But I think if that's pretty much all you've got to plug.
Yeah, I think that's it for my stuff and whatever. Just keep following along on Instagram, TikTok, and all those kind of places, and the videos keep rolling out. We're probably not that far away from like November is when clubs will start rolling out next year's stuff.
Yep.
So you can start tuning into what's coming up for next year, and then internationals and stuff will happen pretty soon. October, so there'll be a bit of international gear.
Yeah, cool.
Australia, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji will have some cool stuff and whatever as well. New Zealand. So that's all content stuff for me.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, that's happening in my world.
Perfect, mate.
You got any comedy gigs you want to
Me? I'll probably put a little thing at the start of this. But yes, I have my debut solo show coming up October 7th. So
where at?
Good Chat Comedy Club on Caxton Street.
Yeah.
Is
that tied in with Caxton Street Brewing Company?
Yes. Underneath
Love the guys there.
Yeah.
Done some stuff there before.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've gone past the phase of looking forward to it to now like panicking. I'm like, am I going to have this ready? So, do you have a pick for the premiership this year?
From the start of the year, before the ball was even kicked, I said the Brisbane Broncos would win it.
Did you?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I don't love the Broncos on field.
Okay.
So I just thought Ben Hunt coming to the club would be like that extra thing. And surprisingly, I don't think it's him who's kicked things long. It's some of the young guys stepping up. Billy Walters really stepped up this year. So I said it would be a Broncos Penrith or a Broncos Storm grand final. Maybe revising that to like a Broncos Canberra. And they're playing. I have no idea who's going to win out of them this weekend. Like, it's just so unknown. But yeah, I think after the way Melbourne played the other night and Penrith could shake things up, maybe I was originally right. But I'm sticking with my pick. I said Brisbane. I'm sticking with Brisbane.
Yeah, nice. Part of me would like to see Canberra get up just because it's been a while. Because I remember when I was a kid in the 90s, they were dominant. So, but yeah, I think Broncos or Raiders would be nice, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the Roosters are giving it a real shake. I think they're the most exciting team in the comp to watch at the moment. Marky Mark on that. Well, but even outside, like Marky Mark is so fun to watch. He flick passes and these stutter steps. He's just a great character. And so there is that angle there. Like the Broncos, pretty entertaining. Reece Walsh and whatever. But Marky Mark just puts on a show. Yeah. So they could give it a shake, but they also just have that kind of performance in them where they'll just blow a game out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's what stops me from tipping them to win the comp, even though I want it to happen.
Yeah. We'll see, mate. We'll see what comes of it. But give your stuff one more plug, the Instagram, your TikTok. Have you got a website?
I do, actually. So everything is Retro Rugby League, so spelt the way that Peter V'landys would say it. So retro, you know how to spell that. Yeah. Right? It's RUGBA, Rugba, and then League is LEEG.
Yeah, nice.
So it was like this. That name kind of came back because we're in COVID. We're just coming out of COVID, and Peter V'landys was on TV all the time saying Rugba League, and I think just normal spelling of Retro Rugby League was taken. So I went with that.
You went with it,
and then it's stuck ever since. So it has caused a few issues when people give me a plug and then they spell it wrong and people get sent to the wrong place. So. It's got retro_rugba_league, and then the website's just retrorugbyleague.com, spelt the same way. And then you can check out hit the little subscribe button on my profile, and that will take you through to the Retro Club stuff. Working on a Patreon soon as well to broaden that. And just follow me on Instagram's where I'm most active, but then post everything on TikTok and starting to post it on YouTube and Facebook and stuff as well.
Yeah, perfect. Well, once you got your jerseys sorted and once you got your Patreon and stuff sorted, we'll share them through our stories and stuff. And
thank you.
Try to get you a few more, but I appreciate you jumping on this afternoon.
No problem. I love it.
Appreciate, what's the official name of this place again?
This is the Bullcock Street Bazaar in Bullcock Street, Caloundra. So a lot of people end up this way for Christmas holidays and Easter holidays. It's in the main street. If you are parked at the top of the hill, walk down the left-hand side. If you're parked at the bottom of the hill, I suppose you're also still walking out left-hand side. But it's about halfway up the street on the left-hand side, opposite, I think it's still Night Owl across the road.
I can see a reject shop. Yeah, I can see a reject
Night
shop.
Owl on the corner.
Okay.
But vintage stuff here, what we're looking at, like Y2K vintage, we're looking at records, we're looking at comic books, we've got toys, all manner of things here. So get yourself.
Awesome spot. So come check it out. But yeah, appreciate it, mate. And yeah, I'm sure we'll hopefully do this again at some point, maybe next year. But thanks for listening, everyone, and I will see you later. All right, we're back, guys. Sorry to sorry to end that early. We turned the mics off, and Tom goes, I forgot to tell you can't get any worse story. And I know I did that on the last guest one, so we can't miss it again. So we've switched the mics back on, and the floor is yours. I'll pad a little bit longer while you fix your mic.
Sorry, I'm just... I said I was right and then I wasn't right.
No, that's all good.
Error.
I'll practice your name a little bit more. Tom.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
It's a little fun thing at home. People can find the other words that have rough breathing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued now. I'll definitely be Googling it.
I think they're called dentals, is the words that you say, the sounds you make, where your tongue touches your teeth.
Okay.
So I think is one. There you go.
Yeah, right. I was just quickly doing the alphabet then, trying to work it out. But hit us with you can't get any worse story. I can't believe I missed it.
I was thinking about this. So it's not even rugby league related. I remember when I was living in Dalby. I was a bit older, and I had gotten to like brewing beer.
Okay.
And I'd seen like one of the things you could do be a bit alternate was instead of using sugar in your brewing mix, you could use honey. Mm-hmm. And there was this like health food shop in Dalby next to the Woolworths. People in Dalby will know what I'm talking about. And they had this honey, like in the raw honey in the big, I think they were 1 kilo tubs.
Okay.
I think. Anyway, so I bought these 2 1-kilo tubs of honey and just put them in the plastic bag and put them in the front seat of my 2004 Commodore and drove back to the house I was living in. Anyway, I got to the house, turned off the key, opened the door with this hand, started to get out while reaching for the bag in the other hand. And as soon as I reached down, I felt like my hand hit this sticky thing. And I looked down, and one of the buckets had tipped over.
Yeah.
And the honey was going everywhere. And I thought, oh, no. So I just like scraped it up, the bag and everything as best I could, and pulled it out, took it inside and washed it off. And I thought, oh, well, that's that lost. Anyway, then I kind of realized that not only the first one had emptied, but the second one was missing.
Oh, right.
And I went back to the car, and that second tub had not only tipped over, but this is on like carpeted floor, had tipped down the side of the car, channeled down the back of the seat, and had just pooled on the 2 back seat carpety things. So it was like a kilo of honey just pooled across these thingos. So it's just I got the lid of a beer carton or a cardboard bit of beer carton, scraping out this honey. Then I went to the drive, the car wash thing. I drove down there and trying to use their vacuum thing to vacuum up, then back home, then scrubbing it, then back to the car wash thing and vacuum it up. And I got it out, I thought, as best as I could. And then they had those kind of scent guns. So it's the same smells as like the Christmas trees that go on your thing. And I got the black ice one because that's what the truckies used to cover up the cigarette smoke in their trucks.
Yep.
So I got that, paid whatever the money was, and just held it to the floor until this thing just ran out of juice. Got back in the car, it's just smelling like a truckie's cab. Drove home, and I thought, mission accomplished. I've achieved it. Next morning, got in the car and just smelled like honey straight away. So I did not solve that problem at all. So that was the last time I used honey in my brewing process.
Well, there you go.
Never again.
Do you still make home brew?
I don't.
No?
Maybe that scarred me from it. It should cost a living crisis and all that.
Yeah.
But no, I left that in the past.
Yeah, nice. All right, my only homebrew memory I have is my granddad used to brew it. And I remember staying at his house when I was younger and just hearing in his garage just bottles popping and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That never happened to me.
Didn't it?
No, people always say be careful, they'll explode. And maybe it's because they were plastic. Maybe they just had a little bit more give.
Maybe,
I did use some glass.
Yeah.
I did used to, it was a bit rogue, say in the morning, when I was starting a brew process, I'd go out the front and clean out the vat. And because I was a bit povo/dero, I just had these just school shorts on, no shirt, no socks, no shoes, and these big green gloves up to my elbows, washing out this chemical. Looked like something out of Breaking Bad.
I was just about to say that.
And it was going over the front lawn. And then when I'd finish the first part of the brew, and then you siphon it off into a second fermenting thing.
Yep.
I just do that with my mouth, with the hose. So it was real hillbilly stuff. And someone was like, "Oh, do you give your mouth a rinse out with whiskey beforehand?" I was like, "No, I don't have any whiskey." So it's just old dirty Dolby tactics. But anyway. Got us by.
That's it, mate. That's it. No, but I'm glad we captured that.
There you go. It's worth turning the camera back
there
on.
we go. So that'll be tacked on to the end of this episode. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. And again, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that story with us again.
Thanks for giving me the platform.
No worries. All right. See you later, guys.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining.